Let's turn to John Ghazvinian. He is the author of America and Iran, a history 1720 to the President. Good day to you, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
John, let's walk through where we are. This is day 4 of a campaign. We have no idea how long it's going to go on. We know that the Americans and the Israelis using a very large air campaign, but the likelihood of a ground campaign seems very unlikely. What do you see as a potential end state inside Iran?
Well, of course, I mean, there's the end state that everybody or most people would like, which is to see a democratic, pluralistic, free Iran that is, that gives liberty to its people and is free of foreign interference. That, frankly, is one potential outcome, but it doesn't feel like the most likely right now. There are a whole range of other likely outcomes. Some of which are quite dark, and I think one of the very real possibilities here is a sort of Syrianization of Iran, where you have the after the supreme leader is dead, where you have a number of entrenched interests ranging from IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guards, regime loyalists, monarchists who are loyal to the, exiled former crown prince, and of course MEK, Mujahideen Khalq, militias as well, all of whom hate one another. And then of course a large number of external foreign interests as well, from Russia to China to the United States to Israel to the Arab states of the Persian Gulf, with their interests. This could turn very, very ugly. And of course that's the concern that I and a lot of other people have at the moment.
Yeah, if you use the Syria example, if that is in fact what ends up happening in Iran, Syria was a decade of different groups massacring each other, seeking to control tiny bits of land and exert their own power in what was largely a power vacuum. How fearful should we be that that could be an outcome in an even larger country with far more people around?
Yeah, I mean, Iran is not much large. I mean, it is much, much larger. It's 90 million people. It has, of course, one of the world's largest oil reserves, an extremely, dynamic and educated population at the crossroads of empires historically and so on. In some ways, much more complicated and potentially much messier than Syria. I think that is a very real possibility. It is the one that I think I and a lot of people who care about Iran are concerned with. Although I have to say, in all honesty, I think that from the perspective of the Trump administration and the government of Prime Minister Netanyahu in Israel, I'm not sure that's an outcome that they would be particularly unhappy to see. I think that anything that removes the Islamic Republic and Iran is a serious threat to Israeli and American strategic objectives in the region is one that they would probably welcome.
In the question of what or who comes next in terms of a leader for Iran, there are a lot of opinions outside of the country, particularly among the Iranian diaspora, and not always a lot of agreement. It's certainly a great deal of concern about what's happening, but as I say, not always a lot of agreement. I wonder about inside Iran. Is there agreement on what should come next or who should come next?
No, Iranians are deeply divided both within the country and in the diaspora. The Iranians right now, of course, are focused on their survival. Their cities are being bombed. It looks like things are going to get worse before they get better. And this is why I'm concerned about the immediate, medium, and long-term future of Iran, because this is a deeply, deeply divided society, both internally in terms of how they feel about the Islamic Republic, and of course you have extremely passionate diaspora groups on all sides across the world. The loudest ones that we hear, the most vocal ones, the ones that seem to get the most airtime, and the ones that we hear about the most, in Western capitals, have one point of view. But there are other diaspora groups who have different points of view. And again, this is why it's difficult to be very optimistic about the immediate future, simply because we're not hearing from the Trump administration or from the Israelis a very clear strategy for the morning after. Other than sort of, rise up against your leaders, I mean, that's, and of course a shifting series of objectives, justifications. So it's again, very hard to be optimistic.
We appreciate your insight into this, John Ghazvinian. Thank you.